Hi, this video is to go over 5 different ways to change the row height. Why are we going to change the row height? Well, one of the reasons is just aesthetics. We might want to give some more white space, but also you might want to prepare your sheet. Like if you know some sort of numbers and some mathematical styles you want, I'll share with you one of these ways where you can very quickly and easily change it to your very saved expectations and specifications, what you want. So that's two reasons why. But you're going to run into a lot of I'm going to give you 5 ways to change it, and every single way has different use cases that you might want to use. So like, for instance, you could just change the font size. So if I just change the font size here. Let me do this. I've already showed you all the ways, but this is the default. If you have a row here and you change the font size, by default, the row will get wider. This is probably the most inherent way or less clicking way. You're changing the font anyways. But what's going to happen is you might want to change it more as you change your height. And the second way you can change it is literally going over to the row, the little space between the row. Make sure your arrow actually changes from an arrow to an up arrow, and now you can click and drag the row height. And this is a great way to give white space to your headers, maybe, or even to your data. So like give more white space. Then you might even want to change over here, like go to the middle and let your data go into the middle there. So that's 2 ways. Or change the font size or click and drag. Next way is you can right click or control click on a row and click on Resize Row. And here we can actually choose the pixels. As you see, it says default is 21, or you can fit to data, which is so the default is 21, and then the default is we fit. But if you know mathematically, I want 30 pixels, you go okay, and now you know what 30 pixels is. You can do the same thing over and over again. And you can say for all of these rows, I want it 30 pixels. For these rows, I know I want to set it to 60 pixels. I want these rows to be exactly double these for some reason, right? For different use cases, maybe you want to put data here and put different headers up here, or information than headers and categories. The next one is something you might already know, but you might have just like figured it out by accident. If you go to the bar between a row, between 2 rows, and double click, it will automatically fit to the data. So even if it's too much, it'll shrink. If it's too little, it'll expand. So if it's too much, it'll go to the default. And you can do that. I like doing that a lot because it saves me a lot of clicking, dragging, figuring out what is the right way. I can also click multiple, and it won't do all of them exactly the same. It'll do them each to their own data. If it's blank, if there's a blank one, it'll be set back to the default. So we can see here, it should be 21. There you go. That's the default. So that's what it to when it has no data in it. And the last way to change the row height is if you have, say, 2 or 3 rows that you don't want to change the entire row, you only want to change a little bit. So for instance, if you have some data in a table that you want to go bigger, but you don't want the entire table to get larger, what you can do is merge your cells. And so something as simple as this can merge cells, and now this row is essentially 4 times higher than this. And that will get you this cell block here is 4 times higher than any of these. Let me see if I can show you better this way, maybe. So you can see that. And so this column's rows are higher than the other ones. That's a a really cute way to do it if you have sort of some different types of data you want to share. That was 5 ways to change the row height. Hope you got something cool out of that. Bye.